Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 cruiser motorcycles dealers can't sell. Number 12, BMW R18. The BMW R18 is a cruiser motorcycle dealers cannot sell in strong numbers, even heading into 2026. On paper, it looks like a premium heavyweight with its massive 1800cc boxer engine and classic styling. In reality, it sits on showroom floors for months. Starting around $15,000 and easily climbing past $18,000 with basic options, it competes directly with American cruisers that offer stronger brand loyalty and resale value in the USA. The R18 weighs over 760 pounds, which turns away newer riders and even experienced cruiser buyers who want easier low-speed handling. There is also the issue of depreciation. Used R18 models often drop thousands of dollars within the first year, sometimes falling under $13,000 in the resale market. That makes new buyers question why they should pay full price. The BMW R18 is not a bad motorcycle. It simply does not fit what most American cruiser buyers want for their money in 2026. When a $16,000 to $18,000 cruiser struggles to move units while rivals sell out, dealers notice. And right now, the R18 is one of those bikes that looks impressive in the showroom, but moves slowly when it comes time to sign the paperwork. Number 11, Kawasaki Eliminator. The Kawasaki Eliminator is a cruiser motorcycle dealer's struggle to move in 2026, mainly because it sits in an awkward spot in the US market. Priced around $6,500 depending on ABS and fees, it looks affordable on paper. But American cruiser buyers often want either a true entry-level budget bike under $5,000 or a bigger, more powerful V-twin with serious highway presence. The Eliminator's 451cc parallel twin does not deliver that classic cruiser feel many buyers expect. In terms of units, it does not come close to matching entry-level standards like the Honda Rebel line in dealership turnover. Some dealers report that Eliminators remain on the floor for months, especially in regions where riders prefer larger displacement bikes. At highway speeds, the lighter weight and smaller engine can feel stretched, which pushes touring-focused customers toward 650 or 900 class machines instead. Another issue is identity. Kawasaki is known in the US for sport bikes and ninjas. Cruiser buyers often lean toward Harley-Davidson or Indian for heritage or Honda and Yamaha for proven resale and reliability value. The Kawasaki Eliminator is not overpriced and it is not poorly built. It simply misses the sweet spot for American cruiser demand. In 2026, when buyers are careful with their dollars and want strong resale plus brand identity, this is one bike that dealers are finding hard to move consistently. Number 10, Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster is a cruiser motorcycle dealers are finding harder to sell in 2026 than expected. Starting around $9,000 and often pushing past $11,000 out the door with freight and dealer fees, it sits in a competitive price bracket. The problem is simple. Many American buyers walking into a Harley showroom expect a traditional air-cooled V-twin feel, not a liquid-cooled Revolution Max 975 engine. While the Nightster is lighter and more modern than older Sportsters, that shift has split the customer base. Longtime Harley riders often skip it because it does not have the classic sound and character they associate with the brand. In terms of sales units, it does not move at the same pace as core Harley cruisers. Many dealers report Nightsters sitting on the floor longer than expected, especially in smaller markets. Resale value has also been mixed, with used models dropping into the $8,000 range fairly quickly. That weakens confidence for new buyers who care about long-term value. The Nightster is not a bad motorcycle. It handles well and offers modern performance. But in the US cruiser market, brand expectation matters as much as horsepower. In 2026, when buyers are cautious with every dollar, this is one Harley that dealers are working harder to sell than they anticipated. Number 9, Indian Chief. The Indian Chief is a cruiser motorcycle dealers are not moving as easily in 2026, mainly because of pricing pressure and shifting buyer priorities. With a starting price around $14,000 and real-world out-the-door pricing often pushing past $17,000 after destination and setup, it lands in a tough bracket. For that kind of money, many U.S. buyers expect touring capability, strong tech packages, and high resale confidence. In several regions, dealers report that floor traffic leans toward either cheaper mid-size cruisers under $10,000 or fully dressed baggers. The Chief sits in between. It is not as affordable as entry models, and it does not offer the wind protection or storage of a Challenger-style touring bike. Depreciation is another factor. Used Chiefs are already trading several $1,000s below original price within a short period, some dipping close to $12,000. Buyers notice that. When resale drops that quickly, it makes customers hesitate before committing to a new purchase. In 2026, when buyers are watching every dollar and comparing resale, dealer support, and real-world value before signing anything, these cruisers are the ones sitting the longest on showroom floors while smarter money moves elsewhere. Number 8. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R is a cruiser motorcycle dealers struggle to move in 2026 because it feels stuck in another era while carrying a price that is not exactly cheap. With an MSRP hovering around $15,000 and out-the-door costs often pushing closer to $17,000 after freight and fees, buyers expect modern tech, refined ride quality, and strong resale confidence. In the U.S., annual unit movement for this model is modest compared to similarly priced cruisers from Harley-Davidson and Indian. Many dealerships report that the M109R attracts attention for its aggressive styling, yet serious buyers hesitate. The bike weighs over 760 pounds and feels heavy at low speeds. It also lacks updated electronics like advanced rider modes or modern display systems that customers now expect in the $15,000 range. Fuel economy is not impressive, insurance can run high due to its performance image, and resale values often dip below $12,000 on the used market within a short period. That quick depreciation makes shoppers question paying full price. In a market where mid-size cruisers under $10,000 are gaining traction, the Boulevard M109R sits in a shrinking niche. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R is powerful and bold, but in 2026, power alone does not close deals. When pricing, weight, and aging design combine, dealers are left with a cruiser that draws looks yet moves slowly off the floor. Number 7. Harley-Davidson Street Bob. The Harley-Davidson Street Bob is a cruiser motorcycle dealers are having a tougher time moving in 2026 because its pricing has crept into territory where buyers expect more than stripped-down styling. With a starting price around $16,000 and realistic out-the-door pricing often crossing $19,000 depending on location, many customers pause before committing. For nearly 20 grand, riders begin looking at larger touring bikes, used baggers, or even fully loaded competitors. In previous years, the raw bobber look was enough to pull strong unit numbers. Now higher financing rates and tighter budgets are slowing that momentum. Dealers in several U.S. regions report Street Bobs sitting longer than they used to, especially when buyers compare monthly payments against better-equipped alternatives. Depreciation also plays a role. Lightly used Street Bobs are often listed several $1,000s below MSRP, sometimes near the $14,000 to $15,000 range. When buyers see that kind of drop within a short time, it weakens urgency to buy new. Overall, the Street Bob still carries strong brand appeal, but in 2026, higher prices and cautious spending are making it one of the cruisers dealers are working harder to sell than before. Number 6. BMW K1600B. The BMW K1600B is a cruiser-style bagger that dealers are struggling to move in 2026 because its price pushes it into a narrow niche. With price starting around $22,000 and easily climbing past $25,000 with common packages, the monthly payment alone filters out a huge portion of buyers. At that level, customers are comparing full-dress touring machines, not just low-slung baggers. The 6-cylinder 1649cc engine is smooth and powerful, but many U.S. cruiser riders still prefer the feel and sound of a traditional V-twin. The K1600B weighs well over 800 pounds, and while it handles better than its size suggests, that number on paper scares off a lot of potential buyers during showroom visits. Maintenance cost is another hurdle. BMW service rates are generally higher than mainstream American brands, and insurance on a $25,000 motorcycle is not cheap. Depreciation has also been noticeable, with used models dropping several $1,000s within a couple of years. When buyers see pre-owned examples listed near $17,000 to $19,000, paying full price becomes harder to justify. The BMW K1600B is refined and fast, but in 2026 it sits in a price bracket where only a small group of riders are willing to spend that kind of money on a cruiser-style machine, and that keeps dealer inventory moving slowly. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Street 750. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 is a cruiser motorcycle dealers cannot sell easily in 2026 because the market has moved past it. When it was available new in the US, pricing hovered around $8,000 before fees, which looked reasonable for a Harley badge. But buyers quickly realized that fit, finish, and overall feel did not match what they expected from the brand. The issue was simple. For similar money, buyers could step into a used Sportster with stronger resale and better brand recognition. Even today in the used market, prices often fall into the $4,000 to $5,000 range, showing how quickly values dropped. Another factor was competition. Japanese mid-size cruisers offered smoother daily riding and proven reliability at lower insurance costs. The Street 750 ended up squeezed between cheaper imports and more desirable used Harleys. Dealers found themselves discounting leftover inventory just to clear floor space. By 2026, its legacy is clear. It was meant to bring new riders into the brand, but resale softness and mixed owner feedback slowed momentum. When a bike requires heavy discounting to move units, that is never a good sign for dealership confidence. Number 4. Triumph Rocket 3. The Triumph Rocket 3 is a cruiser that dealers struggle to sell in 2026 simply because the price and size narrow the buyer pool fast. With price starting around $24,000 and easily pushing beyond $26,000 after fees, this is not an impulse purchase. For that kind of money, many U.S. riders start looking at full touring machines with luggage, wind protection, and long-distance comfort built in. The Rocket 3 makes a strong first impression in the showroom, but once buyers consider insurance, taxes, and financing, the total cost climbs quickly. Monthly payments can rival small car payments. That reality slows unit movement at many dealerships. Some stores report only a couple of sales per year, mainly to experienced riders who already know exactly what they want. Its massive size also limits the audience. Newer riders and even mid-level cruiser buyers often find it intimidating. On top of that, resale has shown noticeable drops, with lightly used models appearing several $1,000s below original price. The Triumph Rocket 3 stands out, no doubt, but in 2026, standout design alone does not guarantee strong sales. High pricing and a very specific target customer mean many units spend more time on the showroom floor than dealers would like. Number 3. Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. The Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 is a cruiser dealers expected to move quickly in 2026, but in many U.S. markets it is not selling as fast as planned. With price starting around $7,000 and most buyers paying close to $8,000 after freight, setup, and taxes, it lands in a price range where customers have serious alternatives. For similar money, shoppers can find lightly used Harley-Davidson models or step into proven Japanese cruisers with stronger resale history. Interest at dealerships is real. The design pulls people in, especially newer riders who want a classic look without spending $15,000 or more. The problem starts when buyers think long-term. Insurance costs, resale value, and dealer network size all matter in the U.S. market. Resale numbers also slow new unit movement. Used Super Meteor 650 listings commonly appear in the low $6,000 range within a short time. When buyers see a drop of $2,000 so quickly, many decide to shop pre-owned instead of signing at full price. That leaves new inventory sitting longer than dealers would prefer. The Super Meteor 650 is affordable and stylish, but in 2026, American cruiser buyers are cautious. When every dollar counts and resale is under the microscope, even a reasonably priced bike can struggle to turn quickly on the showroom floor. If the value story does not stay strong from purchase to resale, dealers end up waiting longer than expected to move each unit. Number 2. Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger is a cruiser bagger that dealers are finding harder to move in 2026 because the price puts it in rare territory. With starting price around $24,000 and many builds crossing $28,000 after destination, paint, and packages, the total cost quickly climbs into luxury motorcycle territory. For many U.S. buyers, that means higher monthly payments, higher insurance, and more hesitation before signing. The Challenger offers bold styling and strong highway presence, but in this price range, shoppers compare everything closely. Some cross-shop fully loaded Harley-Davidson touring models, while others look at slightly used baggers selling for $20,000 to $23,000. When nearly new alternatives save several $1,000s, new unit movement slows. Depreciation also plays a role. Early model Challengers on the used market are already listed well below original price, in some cases dropping $4,000 to $6,000. The Indian Challenger is powerful and premium, but in 2026, high pricing and cautious consumer spending are limiting how many riders are ready to spend close to $30,000 on a cruiser, leaving some dealerships waiting longer than expected to move each unit. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S is a cruiser that dealers are still finding difficult to move consistently in 2026 because it challenges what many American buyers expect from the Sportster name. With starting price around $16,000 and real out-the-door pricing often landing near $18,000 depending on state and fees, it sits in a premium bracket. For that money, riders expect size, comfort, and classic cruiser character. Instead, the Sportster S offers a modern design that splits opinions. Some buyers like the aggressive styling, but many traditional Harley customers walk in looking for the low, simple, air-cooled feel that older Sportsters delivered. When they see the new direction, they often shift toward a Street Bob or even a used Softail. That affects showroom conversion rates. Another issue is practicality. The small fuel tank and compact layout raise concerns for riders who plan longer highway miles. In the U.S., weekend trips and interstate riding are common, and buyers want comfort plus range. Resale has also shown early drops, with used Sportster S listings sometimes several thousand below original price. That signals caution to new buyers. Overall, the Sportster S is bold and different. But in 2026, being different does not always mean selling fast. And dealers are seeing that firsthand as units remain on the floor longer than expected. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.